Nidalee and Lilia banned out, you would expect something like maybe the Evelynn comes through for Inspired to combine a little bit more effectively with a solo lane Lucian. There's that Graves I was talking about for River. No surprise there. One of his most successful and most played champions.
And Renekton might come through here for this one. It is the most played out of their top laner, Hanabi, and it sets him up for a lot of aggression down there. Of course, with Ornn banned, you can't easily pick a tank and stack armor. I think there's champions like Maokai and Malphite out there that you can play and do it, but waiting to see now what's going to come through. Might go for the fighter matchup. I do think Renekton's favored in that battle as the hovers come through. We'll just wait to see what Rogue actually wants to play.
Yep, they definitely could still flex around as well, so we'll keep our eyes on it there. PSG very heavily indexing into attack damage thus far, with jungle and top committing to it in 1-2 this early on in their picks. Means they're definitely going to have to get that AP for tank for the mid lane. There's the Evelynn that I talked about. That's really, really easily paired with the Lucian, with the Lilia Nidalee bans. Pretty much the go-to there. So now maybe we'll see the support pickup or bottom lane pickup. Can they get their hands on for Hansama? It is one of the aggressive lanes. We were talking about this before the match came up, Phreak, but the aggressive lanes for Hansama, where he is either Kalista or Draven, and they try and play these kill lanes on bottom side of the map. I've really liked that look from Rogue, and since they already showed the early Lucian solo lane for themselves, this is going to be a Rogue that comes out hitting very quickly, looking to dominate some lanes, looking to try and snowball.
And so it's going to be the Senna picked up right away, putting Unified back onto that one. He has been playing a lot of utility carries towards the very end of the split. Senna and Jhin were pretty much all he played during the PCS playoffs. He had the last match at the end right there, but that was the style that came through into that one. And so a lane that can safely play back and just survive can work very well up against his Kalista. You generally take the team fighting power of the not Kalista in most cases. She's usually kind of poised to win early lane, and if that doesn't happen, you're doing okay. Go ahead.
I think that Rogue need to ban tanks Azir. Syndra plus Azir, I think, would be the two main AP carries for him, and his performance is going to be so critical here, as we kind of talked about. So with the extra one here on round 2, I think it's easily doable for themselves. Meanwhile, PSG trying to continue to ban out some top lane possibilities for Finn. Finn has been singled out as the single greatest point of exploitation on Rogue.
Link.
Yeah, exactly. For possibility for teams. So that's why, PSG with the early Renekton pick, they very clearly are calling out Finn. They're calling their shot. They want Hanabi to be that carry topside. That's what he has played at Worlds before, and we'll see if they can actually make it come good.
So it's cool to see these teams, I think, building towards their strengths. Again, mid-jungle, a really, really big deal here for Rogue. On the PSG side, top lane is where you're looking right now. Renekton gonna be a bully, Lucian gonna be a bully, especially when packed up by the Evelynn. And now, as we see Orianna coming through, we know what the solo laners are. There's really no way you flex Ori top and Renekton mid, so you know these lineups for sure. And the question is, what goes top lane for Finn to answer Renekton? I don't think it's Lucian. I think it's gonna be Malphite. Yeah, exactly what I wanted to see. Armor, stacking, tank, and the top side to deal with the physical damage exclusive top jungle duo.
I love this, Phreak. This is the no ego. We're like, PSG are calling their shot. They're like, yo, early pick Renekton. We're banning out other top laners. Finn, we're calling you out. Are you going to try and fight me? And Finn's like, you know what? Armor looks good here. You've got a triple first pick armor there with Graves, Renekton, Senna. So top side is full attack damage. Malphite is an amazing pick for Finn and for the team composition that they are facing. They compound that engage with the Rakan as well. So Rogue actually coming out of this one looking really pretty, honestly.
Now, Vander with his first Rakan play of the Summer Split Plus. Cool to see the champion pools kind of reaching out a little bit there. Of course, Vander has been playing League professionally since before Rakan ever came out. You have to believe he knows the champion pretty well at this point in time. But cool to see him adding something a little bit new, or, new again, refound, maybe rediscovered. But the lineups are in. We've got the Nautilus coming out on the other hand, on the other side right here. It is going to be some frontline. Still expecting Senna to be the farming champion down there for Unified, but I will keep that asterisk up as a possibility. and we'll see how these teams can go. Final comments come through for the coaches. And Rogue, I think expectations are on that they can turn it around for the LEC. Mad Lions had a rough road during playing, and you can't help but feel some of that weight on your shoulders, saying, okay, look, Mad Lions stumbled, but we will pick up where they left off. Don't worry, we're Rogue. We can take this one down. They won the LEC Summer Split regular season. They did great in best of ones, and here up against PSG Talon. And most of those players, first time internationally, you have to believe they've got what it takes.
Yeah, and PSG Talon here, they made waves in play-ins with their substitute players, and so everybody is looking at Tank and River coming back into the team now that they've made it to the group stage. They're returning to the squad, and they need to prove that they still have it.
I think they may. It's going to be an exciting battle down here, and I want to see a lanes shakeout, how well these two teams can play. I know a lot of eyes were on Finn as a weak leak. Can he be exploited? Can it be a problem? But he's no ego, right? It's armor stacking on Malphite, and I want to give credit to Rogue for scouting a lot of the talent here. Top, jungle, and mid pretty much all got their LEC debuts on Rogue. They did the talent scouting. They put them in. Technically, Larssen played 2 games in H2K, but that almost doesn't count. That team barely even played. This is Rogue putting in their roster together from the Polish League, from Ultra Liga, saying, don't worry, we're going to bring you back in. Let's play some LEC. They won the LEC regular season. They were the very first team qualified for Worlds because of how LEC's format works, and now they're here to play their first game of Worlds 2020 in a matchup where I believe they are just a bit favorites.
And I do like how they took their licks in playoffs, they took the losses, and they learned from them. And like we were talking about, they then used those strategies to their own benefits, and we're seeing them once again. They got the Lucian, so let's see what they had to prove with it.
Larssen and Inspired, the players I want to watch. And I want to see Lane Kingdom. We have seen so much early game domination. We have seen one team be clearly better than the other. We saw Top Esports crush FlyQuest. We saw the exact same thing as Unicorns of Love lost to DRX. And I want to see if Inspired and Larssen can put on that same performance here. And you heard it from VODS. He's like, look, Larssen is the second best mid laner in the LEC behind Caps. And Caps is like a top 4 mid in the world, a top 10 player in the world. Don't worry, Larssen's gonna slot right behind you. And you've been playing in the LEC for a year and a half, 2 years. Like, this is an impressive start to his career. It's now him showing up on the world stage. We are gonna get the game starting pretty soon. We're not just here to preamble about Rogue, but I wanna see how well the rest of it can convert. Hansama, obviously a great player. We saw him back on the Misfits run a while back. He was really good down there as they took SKT to 5, who eventually made it all the way to the World Final that year. And Vander back up in as well. I think he's been around for so very long, and I like to see him back on the stage.
I like how you touch on everybody there, Phreak.
I gotta.
Everybody gets their moment, and now we're on to Summoner's Rift. Good. PSG Talon, though, they deserve their moment. And I want to talk about Hanabi in the top side. This guy was always a carry top player. This is what I want to see him on. He made his name with Yasuo way back in the day, but here with Conqueror Renekton, they do have the difficulties of going double AD, top and jungle into the Malphite, but you can still focus on that side and try and punish Finn, try and work off of that strong side, go for the invades, take control of the blue buff, and try and deny Rogue some of those options.
Good play right there. You can trinket during your recall, switch it out for a sweeper. So we are seeing sweeper topside for Finn, which I do find a little bit interesting. I guess if he's saying I'm never going to get ganked, you don't need to put your own wards down because it's just useless to put effort down there. But it does mean that Finn cannot get his own vision. He is just going to be at the whims and mercies of Hanabi and River if they ever do want to gank him down there. Halo Blades for Kalista, very much more lane focused. The only other real alternative would be Lethal Tempo.
Look at this super long camp towards mid.
Wow, I mean, that's going to be flashed down instantly, but they're going to find the knockup anyway. It's already first blood. You got to be kidding me. The early flash, it makes it easy for Vander.
That is incredible. Rogue with the level 1 planning here. They just wait patiently in the side brush here. Vander's Rakan comes out. He gets him after the flash. Knockup secured. Rends the spears right out of him. Here's the hook, though, answering back on bottom side. You know what we get for that first blood? A little bit of chunk of HP, and Vander's just going to heal it right back up with the potion.
Yep. Of course, no time to recall for the item. So, it is going to be laning at equivalent power, and honestly, it's, to be fair, power up for PSG in the fact that there is no flash on the Rakan, but as the level lead's coming through, they got the push on the wave. You've got to back off when you're Senna and Nautilus, because level 2 would come in first for Rogue. Inspire going through his camps, roughly keeping up right now with how Graves is doing over there. River getting up to the top side. He finishes full bottom side of the camps. A very similar situation as both junglers took down their blue buff quadrants and now onto the red buff side.
Yeah, and for Inspired, you want to fully clear out your blue quadrant because you don't want to spend time up towards the top side. You don't even look at Finn until he's level 6. You know, his duty there on the Malphite is to let the wave push to him so he does not get into a bad lane state. Just keep up in his CS versus Renekton. Don't take any crazy trades versus him. Make use of your passive shield. Wait for it to come back up before you go for those riskier CS. Just try and get the last hits that you're looking for here to scale up a little bit on that Malphite and look for your levels. That opens up all of the playmaking for Rogue to occur on the bottom and mid lane. They've got, yes, no flash on Rakan, but Evelynn is actually one of the, well, never mind, let's wait for the dive first, and then we can go into the jungle.
Well, tank is flashless. Heal for move speed means the knockup. You gotta be kidding me. We talked about Hansama, Vander, and Larssen. I thought Inspire's gonna be part of that one. But the bot lane has roamed up twice for mid lane ganks.
The bottom lane ganking way more than either jungler in this game. It feels good for Inspired to be able to do a full clear on Evelynn. Just having his bottom lane pull off the ganks for himself, clears all of his camps, goes in, just collects his bottom scuttle crab right there. And we'll look into the future here because, yes, this is Hansama and Vander difference. Multiple gangs towards mid lane, burning tank's flash, punishing him again without the flash, returning to bottom and picking up their CS. But once they actually settle on bottom lane, Evelynn is one of the best junglers to go gank one of these lanes because you can pull the trick as Evelynn, walk up into the lane, you allow Rakan to jump to you. As soon as the Rakan jumps to you, you start channeling your charm. Then Rakan jumps from you onto the opponents that you are hovering by invisible to get the knockup charm combo, and then you get a full CC duration charge charm of your own. It's inescapable. Once you get that CC locked down, anybody that gets locked into it, even a semi-tanky champion like a support Nautilus, can get 100% to zeroed with that. And since Evelynn, with the invisibility, provides that extra jump for Rakan, it makes it a lot easier to pull off.
Early AP coming through right now. 900 gold lead to Rogue. It's not the most money on Larssen because you are showing that assist multiple ways, so it's only a couple hundred gold, but obviously poor tank doesn't get anything. He has almost no combat stats, none of its durability. It's Corrupting Potion, Dark Seal. That's not exactly great against the extra attack damage this Lucian has, so expecting some more mid-pressure before too long. Bot lane easily pushed in. Unified should have no problem getting most of this farm. Generally speaking, you should be able to tie up the CS deficit, but yeah, a lot of pressure down here. Mid lane being attacked. The turret plate half gone in the first one. Larssen barely even taking damage.
Yeah, look at the disrespect here. Larssen, he knows his jungler is bottom side. He's just slamming tank under his turret with skill shots while River is there recalling in the bush right behind him. Does have a ward above him, so he's hovering to the top side of the lane, but that's about all the safety that he needs. Complete punishment, nice prediction.
Really good anchor, puts him at half HP. They're going for the re-engage. This could well be a kill. Hansama forced to flash away. His heal's already down. There's not going to be the re-engage just yet, but that is a trade that was well played. A really, really nice prediction hook by Kaiwing.
Yeah, Kaiwing right there, predicting the hop on Hansama, and he gets a flash for his troubles. PSG definitely not asleep at the wheel here, reminding Rogue that they still have some bite, and they have to be a little bit more careful than that. Kalista now, no flash, could be a possible target, but honestly, if you're a River, your job is so difficult right now. Your mid lane just got abused early on with the multiple ganks, so they're behind, and as the Grave, these are very difficult ganks to pull off. Now he's getting circled around upon by Larssen's Lucian. They're gonna pull the trap shut.
3v2, Orianna's nowhere to be seen, so River's gonna be running away as fast as he can back to the top side. The River is dangerous and has to flash at the very end. One hit away from dead. He was hoping he could juke out Larssen, but Larssen read the play, able to land all the culling and force the flash away. Nicely done there. And top lane gets a little bit of pressure relieved. It's still a 20 CS difference. but Finn is able to walk out, and I think look for Honeyfruit and come back and get that wave.
Okay, Unified and Kaiwing able to push up on the bottom side, though. That will give them a roam timer. You can possibly look for a little bit deeper of a ward. They do clear out on the Tri-Brush, but that is about it. Minion Dematerializer used on the cannon minion to try and get that quick push. If you push it really hard right now, you can maybe get one of those extra windows as well for yourself to go off with another recall.
Vander was pretty clean right there. Serrated Dirk, so really lethality out of Larssen. Not the build you see every single time. You see Muramana, you see Essence Reaver, Ruin King. He's going for assassination there. It's gonna be fun. It's a very early spike, and it lets him really crush down champions like tanks Orianna, who has incredibly low base armor on this champion.
Yeah, if she does not have the ball on her for the extra armor and magic resist, that is going to be almost true damage early on with the extra lethality focus here from Larssen. We saw the damage that you could get out with his culling there onto River. That is going to be even more difficult for Tank to deal with. There's that bottom lane roam. I was talking about the window created by hard shoving on that cannon minion wave. And they're using it to try and go hover mid, but at this time, there's no aggression here from Rogue. This is going to be a face check possibly from Vander, though.
I think they saw Unified, though. I believe he was in minion line of sight, and regardless, the Rift Herald is alive, and no one is bot lane right now. The entire lane is just sitting there, just killing each other back and forth. The Herald is likely the play. This control word is going to be killed. As Inspired takes his recall, there's just farm being left down to the bottom lane. I know Spawn is probably screaming at his monitor right now. Why isn't no one taking that farm right now? Watching planes with him, but either way, Herald is going to be started by River.
Interesting that PSG actually feel confident going for this one, starting it up while they see the rest of Rogue pushing on that top side. They have to be very careful with their positioning. They don't have level 6 for Nautilus, so they don't have the point and click set up to pull off that guaranteed Orianna combo.
Drops a bit of damage. The flash in. Can he get the assassination? It's close, but the Summon Heal comes across. Dangerous for Inspired. Ults away, stays alive. The nice shield comes through for Vander to keep him healthy enough against the Graves ulti. Looks like Herald will reset all the way back as Hanabi takes down the top scuttle, and ultimately no kills taken in. There's a wave shoving into the bot side. Tank may well TP to catch those 3 waves, but he's TPing into mid lane to keep fighting over Herald, but there are 3 waves in bot lane that could have been picked up, and instead both teams want to fight over top Herald.
Well, we do have Malphite ultimate on the side of Rogue, so there it is!
Flash in for 3, how about the re-engage? Already a 1-for-0 Shockwave not to be found. A double kill for Finn, and he heard you talking smack. Larssen grabs the kill over the top, and Rogue is already 5-0.
Malphite operational. Yep, there we go, Phreak. Looking for the ultimate. They find it. Easy combo follow-up from Vander. He didn't even have to use the ultimate. He gets level 6 off of that fight. Rogue crushed the Rift Herald fight. They will claim the prize afterwards, and they can commit to this top lane swap. Remember, after 5 minutes, the fortification buff falls off of the top and mid turrets. So lane swaps like this, you can just hard push on the towers. The extra 50% damage reduction is not there. And with the Rift Herald picked up too, they'll be able to get a lot of turret plate money upon reset.
Finn's going to stay on the bottom lane, and honestly, it's not like there's a lot of magic damage coming to Unified and Kaiwing, so should feel very safe down there as he stacks up his first few components. Ninja Tabby's in, Glacial Shroud there as well for some CDR. River, though, feeling comfortable to go for this 11-minute Drake. A lot slower than we were having in our first few games of the day. A couple of wards coming down, a little bit of sweeping from Kaiwing, and now it's time to help make sure this Drake comes down. Mount Drake can be claimed no problem. But now Hansemo's got to be very afraid of what Renekton might do. Burn Summon Heal to get away, and able to walk out with boots too.
Yep, they should be able to get off the reset for himself. The Rift Herald is in the hands of Inspired, and Evelynn's ultimate also coming back off of cooldown. So Hanabi really does have to be worried about possible dives that will take the whole turret if they kill you as well. He can come up there, use the Evelynn ultimate, get the kill, plus then use the Rift Herald on the turret after you take off 2 plates by hand. And that sort of lead is so hard to come back from. If teams ever get early Rift Herald into top lane kill and then taking the entire turret, that is just such a monumental opening to not only the map, but also the gold lead, on top of the lead that Rogue already have. I think PSG Talon need to avoid that at all costs.
I'll see how many members of Rogue they can avoid, because a lot of these people are up in gold. Even Finn, who's having a rough laning phase, it's like, all right, yeah, I'll be the defensive one here. He got 2 kills in that one. He's probably up in money right now. And here comes the top lane pressure. It's time to earn some turret plate gold. This was you know, maybe a year of LEC domination in the making is something that I know their fans wanted to see after seeing Fnatic make World Final and G2 make World Final and G2 win MSI. Like, look, how deep really is the LEC roster? How good are all of our teams? And they were hyped for Rogue, they won the regular season, and so far in their Worlds debut, it has been domination from them as well. We'll wait to see as they face off against more tournament favorites later on in the group stage, but so far so good for the #3 spot of the LEC.
Yeah, continuing to just pressure up on top side. They keep on sending Sama and Vander right back up there. Finn actually looking for a possible dive here. Does have ulti.
Charm, here's some slows, let the tank the turret, no damage dealt at all, barely breaks the passive. And Inspire gets his first kill of the game, 6-0. No one's gonna stop this.
All right, that is gonna be, well, I thought he could actually stick around, just take off the extra turret and then drop Rift Veil, but he's gonna leave it there to Finn. Finn teleport does come down to try and stop the play.
Decent damage. Herald tries to knock down 2 plates and almost a third. The ulti gets him away, and that teleport got very little done. The turret's gonna fall. No one was around for local turret gold. Herald does not claim it, despite what the scoreboard in the middle shows you. So some of that money did go away, but you take the turret kill all the same.
Yeah, and I think you're really happy to get that teleport cooldown out of PSG as well, because that means there's no Renekton top, there's no extra global support now going to come. So while you don't get that local gold of the turret going down on bottom side, leaves Sama to whittle down on an extra plate on top side.
So far so good. Finn has played weak side beautifully. His team fought well, he set up for the gank well. They even got first turret for him. Sort of. He was part of it, certainly, to be said. And look at this, a 4,500 gold lead. It is another early game domination, a class above right now. Rogue over PSG Talon.
And this is one of the big takeaways I had when talking to a lot of the players of these group stage teams that were watching play-ins and had not played in the play-ins and had just been scrimming. All of them that I talked to were so surprised at the meta that evolved in play-ins, where it was a lot of scaling, a lot about the horns on top side and playing a lot towards those later games in team fights. Whereas, obviously, in the scrims and with a lot of these teams, they had been having a lot of early snowball victories. Rogue here picking up on that trend as well. And the first 3 games now of groups have all had ginormous leads in the early stages, and the teams with those leads never let them go. So if the trend continues, it will be Rogue trying to extenuate these circumstances here. They definitely have the CC to do it. If you just call Evelynn up to the top side, Kalista Rakan combo is ready.
The one different point here is that there isn't dragon stacking for Rogue. In our first 2 games, we had 20-minute Dragon Souls, give or take 2 minutes. I mean, it was utter domination. Rogue spent their bot lane advantage getting kills in mid, which is not bad, to be clear. But it's going to be another gank coming across on the top side. The CC is there. Unified didn't have a chance. Kaiwing gets out. Rogue were stacking kills instead of Drake, so Soul will probably not be the win condition, but they will knock down turrets here.
The combo is ready. The bat signal goes up. Here comes Inspired. Boom, kill. It's almost like clockwork here. You can call the kills as they're about to happen. Now he goes for the invade. Evelynn didn't even have to use the ultimate to secure that kill because they had so much overkill. So you still have to be worried about that devastating Evelynn combination. And Finn is waiting in the brush to say hi to their old buddy tank.
Ooh, is he going for it? Is he going to flash in? Is he going to get the damage? There's a slow. They're going to try to bait the flash, and he never goes for it. If he flashes, they follow right away. He never presses the button. Now, the shockwave not going to land. Good escape, but the re-engage in the mid side is going to hurt. Inspire just barely gets out. Everyone's going to stay alive. They pull in the tank. That's not going to matter, Kaiwing. You're not going to get anything out of that one. Just leaving the aftershock cooldown for a few seconds.
Yeah,
fire.
A full-length Malphite ultimate should always be flashable by a pro player on no ping like this. So if you ever go for that, you're definitely going to get flashed. The only possible way would be like maybe point-blank flash on Malphite and then try and do a point-blank ultimate, but it's so risky to try and get that between turrets. So PSG Talon do try and chase them off. Turret still goes down for Rogue. Dragon now goes over as well, so they're very happy picking up the objectives instead of overforcing.
It goes down to the bottom side. Larssen already on split push duty, and he's already pressuring bot lane tier 2. And you can see in the minimap, he's got 3 wards supporting this push to know if people are coming over. No one's on the way. Justice Renekton, and honestly, Hanabi not going to have a good time here against Larssen. Justice rated Dirk into Essence Reaver, so early power spike into the more conventional scaling build. We'll see what comes in next for him, but obviously not threatened at all by Hanabi with a null magic mantle.
Yep, I really like the crit builds for Lucian. Should be a pretty good win condition here for Rogue as they continue to try and snowball. With this early of all 3 outer towers now going down, with an Evelynn team that has engage capabilities of extremely long ranges, it's up to Rogue to get their first line of deep wards down through the jungle. And then if you toggle vision from PSG's side, the map is dark. It's so incredibly scary to go anywhere on this because you can have a Malphite ulting you from Fog of War. You can have an Evelynn sitting there invisible. So even if you see Rakan a screen away, all of a sudden he gets this jump over to the invisible Evelynn. You have Malphite coming out. The engage possibilities are insane for Rogue.
Right now they're going to take things in the dead of night here as the Fog of War allows them a pretty easy push towards Rift Herald as they pop the eye. On the other side of the map, you've got the team taking on bottom Scuttle here as well. Rogue really own all sides of the map right now. They may well own some of PSG's base before too long. 18 minutes into the game, Vander gonna have to escape. No problem at all. ECW over the wall, he's safe. Now Hanabi is gonna spot Finn. Not gonna be able to get much damage done. Despite the level lead, it's just not gonna matter. Black Cleaver is not really gonna beat Sunfire Glacial Shroud, especially with reinforcements coming. And now Hanabi, he's in danger. Pops the ult, still being attacked. And now it's time to kite away once again for Hansama. Teleport coming in. This is gonna be the re-engage. This is gonna be the attempt at a comeback here for PSG. Is it gonna be enough? Anchor's gonna come in. They find Vander. A lot of CZ coming across. Hansama forced backwards. Ults in. There's a big knockup. There is everything all at once. Larssen finds 1 and 2 kills. Now the re-engage to the backside. Vander forced to run away. They're gonna keep him alive. As Inspired finds kill number 3, and it's time for Kaiwing to run away. Rogue simply too strong. They're looking for kill number 4. Kaiwing trying to build some space, trying to get away, and he may just live. Rogue 10 and 0. A single Drake separating them from a perfect game.
Yeah, you're playing with fire. If you try and chase down that combination, you can see Finn just waits on it. Hansama easily ults Vander out of any sort of danger. Once they send him back in, it's a freaking bounce house. Kalista ultimate knockup, Malphite ultimate, charms come through. It's actually ridiculous, the AoE combo that comes through, and Rogue dominate this map. They are not gonna let go of this game. You can see them just kind of kiting here. No panic whatsoever. Just kite back into the brush. You can easily Kalista ultimate out the Rakan, then send him back in for the AoE. Finn gets the knockup into the charm, into the second knockup from the Rakan. With Larssen coming down, Inspired there with the extra damage, they easily pick up the kills.
We go back on the map now with an 8,000 gold difference. Second Drake a while ago was picked up by Rogue. Third one spawns in 130. Still not expecting Soul to be the win condition, but it will be 3 Infernals for whoever claims that. Now we'll wait to see how their mid game's gonna look, because Baron spawns in 7 seconds, and Rogue have shown no signs of really giving up map control here.
Really going to tell the difference here in the first couple of days that the teams and groups that come out and are able to snowball off of their strong points from draft. Once again, in this game, 3rd game around, Rogue with a really strong bottom half. And it's actually, remember, Hansama and Vander with the early ganks. So well planned from them, hiding initially in that line brush towards mid. They ganked tank, they burned his flash, they got the first blood, and they weren't done there, Phreak. They push their lane, they go for another gank. It's actually just so cleanly done how quickly they're able to snowball off of this early planning.
Ward control gets to come through at the very least, so 30 gold earned by River. Rogue, of course, still trying to take control of this jungle, trying to take over this game as Larssen is shoving the top side. He is the primary split pusher, by the way. He's the one with the safety tools, the ability to dash backwards, to ult as he kites away if he needs to, and ultimately he's the one knocking down side lane turrets. Rift Herald now summoned. Could make a little bit more happen as mid lane's gonna fall. Looks like with everyone leading mid, Finn can walk away no problem, and Flame turret number 5, PSG Talon got a Drake at 11 minutes and have gotten nothing else since. Rogue have completely strangleholded this game.
Yeah, the good thing about not having to rely on Dragon Soul, you can just rely on good old Baron. Before Dragon Souls existed, Phreak, back in my day, teams used to end the games with Baron. That was the end game objective. These newfangled Dragon Souls are nice. Yes, they will still pick up all the dragons because the map is theirs and there's no reason to give that up. But that will be the death blow, is the setup that Rogue can pull around Baron. And just to put the extra nail in the coffin, they have the Kalista rend to even further secure this objective for themselves. So as much as we talked about earlier, the possibilities of vision control for Rogue and the pick potential with Malphite, Rakan, and Evelynn, that is just taken up to 11 by the possibilities of Baron now being on the map. All that Rogue have to do is transition their control wards over to the red quadrant, and then PSG Talon are forced into a lose-lose scenario where they're looking for face checks. Yes, you have Orianna ball, but the range and safety on that is greatly overestimated, as you still have to get decently close, and the range that we already highlighted for Rogue is definitely there to pull those picks off anyway.
Snuck in through fog. If Unified pushed in for the next wave, he would absolutely have died. Nice attempt there by Vander and Larssen. Ultimately doesn't come to anything. But a nice try all the same. Finn walking through. He's just making sure, yep, we still
go.
Great, okay, here we go. Time for the Baron.
No attention need be paid down to the Renekton split pushing there. PSG just trying to get something for themselves while Rogue force this. See if they can actually get the engage.
A little dangerous. Vander going to be rooted in place. Shotgun going to land as well, but he's pulled right back in by Hansama. Played at the range. Gravesalt says maybe we get something out of it. They're not going to get anything. Here comes the Smite Ren combo. Claimed no problem. Is there even going to be a re-engage? Malphite ulti was burned. Not going to do anything for kills, but at the end of the day, here we are with the Baron picked up cleanly with no kills. Time to reset and pick up the various sides of the map.
Yeah, and PSG, they actually don't overcommit. They don't blunder there, making, forcing a fight or something or getting caught afterwards. They just take their one tower on bottom side for Hanabi there with the Renekton, and they give up that Baron. Yes, maybe you throw like a Hail Mary, a crazy play where River just tries to, E or flash into the pit and goes for a very low chance of a kill against a Ren combo, but, well, he actually got caught.
He recalled outside of the brush, but he's not charmed. Finn ult not up for a second, but they do have some slows. Gonna slow him. And they're still kind of going. I mean, Inspired is gonna try. He's going for charm number 2. Does have flash if he needs it. Gonna ult backwards to find the charm, and they're gonna find the kill. Nicely done. Larssen TV behind just for good measure. I like the play, I like the kill. A mistake from Hanabi.
All right, quickest 3 games ever, Phreak, for us.
Yeah.
Our World's Day 1 is gonna be over shortly. Rogue with Baron buff and 30 seconds left on the death timer for Hanabi means that this is gonna be Rogue hard pushing on bot.
11,000 gold lead, looking at a 26-minute victory or shorter if possible. Bottom inhibitor turret under fire. The inhibitor itself an easy pickup now as well. How quick will they win this game? This was one in the books I did not think it would be the hardest stomp of the day, but so far it's looking like it is. Beautiful out of Rogue so far. The level 1 was sick. They did it again at level 3. I mean, I love to see it. This whole squad doing beautifully and obviously deathless.
Yeah, maybe we do have to give out an award for hardest stomp of our 3 games since all of them were really one-sided. Yeah. I would probably still go with DRX.
Okay.
But it's up for contention.
Yeah, I mean, I'm voting Rogue.
Okay.
Going deathless with your only objective loss being a single Drake and winning sub 30, that to me is hardest stomp, but we'll see.
My jungle bias is showing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the 13 kill Nidalee certainly is a factor.
All right, though, Rogue not done here. They still have 50 seconds left on this. Baron, plenty of time to get another inhibitor. PSG, they've got to make it happen. They've got really...
Oh, goodbye, Kaiwing. Jeez. From the charm, instantly dead. Inspired practically a solo kill. And that is second inhibitor. No problem at all. PSG forced to play back. Forced to play defensively back to their Nexus. But now in the 5v4, Baron's still on for 30 seconds. Rogue looking to maybe end the game here.
All right, charm going down.
Nice try. Rooted in place, not going to get the charm, not going to get the knock up, and it does mean this wave gets clear, but the next one is right behind. Respawn for Kaiwing up in 5 seconds. We'll have ulti. Finn's going to land the shockwave, or the ulti on a tank rather. The shockwave delivery not going to land. Good flash wave from Larssen. The unstoppable force does in fact move the tank away, and that means the Nexus turret will drop, and we will get a reset in time for Drake number 4.
All right, so PSG are able to fend them off on this push. But let's see if they get caught here trying to chase people down, because they've got so much to deal with. Super minions bot and top. The extra dragon should go no contest over to Rogue upon their reset. They're just so far ahead. PSG can't rush into anything. They are actually heading up through the Fog of War towards it right now, but I would be very surprised if they really did commit to it. They do have double teleports that if Rogue overextend or tried to get a little bit fancy with themselves, maybe PSG can turn something around, but it would have to come at a mistake from Rogue, some hubris or something where someone's trying to style.
There we go. Brick number 3 picked up. As you mentioned, Kobe, soul not required. They'll take the buffs, they'll take the stacks. In case something goes wrong, they've always got the ability to fall back to an Infernal Soul in a 5 minutes time.
Invest in Dragon Insurance, Phreak.
Yeah,
it's very cheap.
It's really cheap. It's really, really cheap. It takes 20 seconds of Hansama's time, which, not the most money in the world required for that one. They invested in ganks, in lane domination, and in turret destruction. That obviously paid off. They're looking at the fastest win of the day so far, as they look to continue a trend of LEC excellence. Rogue, their first time on the world stage. 2 years as a European League of Legends org, and looking pretty solid here in their second year and their first run at World so far. A near perfect game against PSG Talon. Kaiwing pulls in Vander, gonna get a bit of damage there. River forced back. Finn pretty much impervious to turrets, but no reason to take it for no reason.
Your base is now my base. You're gonna get attacked from behind.
He's putting on the flare for good measure. They're all hitting emotes. Yeah, they're in good moods. They're in good sorts right here. And this is, of course, a scary group. The other two teams that we will see the next game are two of the tournament favorites. And there comes the engage. There's a stop of force on a 2. Charm on even more. Double kill for Inspired. Here comes the kill on a Kaiwing. It's basically the ace. There's nothing left to do. It's going to be a bloodless victory. Rogue don't lose a single champion.
Larssen's going after Kaiwing.
They lost a single turret, and that is it. Rogue, with utter domination, will slaughter PSG Talon. They will take down the next in under 29 minutes. And Rogue have shown up to Worlds to dominate the competition. Congratulations on the win over PSG Talon.
Have to say, as a jungler, big props to the bottom lane of Rogue for the ganks that they pulled off in this game. They perform 2 ganks on the mid lane before either jungler gets anything off. Camping level 1 in the line brush towards mid lane. It really does re-emphasize a point that we were talking about going into groups and now and going into play-ins as well. But the level 1 preparation in these best of ones means a lot and can shape the entire face of your game. Because after that level 1, they get the kill, they get the flash, they just push up their lane and return again, making Tank's life brutal.
Yeah. For a lot of fans, this was the result expected out of Rogue, who came in hot in the summer split of the LEC. They tested G2, they won the regular season, and they've shown up to play very well. PSG Talon, yeah, they had a jungle mid Smurf duo during the play-in run. I think the lineup is weaker with the intended 5. Regardless, still got to the finals of the PCS. We'll see if they can bounce back. But now for Rogue, they have to contest with 2 of the best teams in the world. JD Gaming and Damwon also wait in that group. We'll see those battles later in the week. But now let's check out Rogue's Mercedes drive to victory. Finn's rock-solid ultimate. Again, 9 minutes in.
Yep, remember calling this one out. Finn is ready. He's looking for it. Walking at 3 members grouped up. Oh, that is juicy. Then they followed up with Rakan, of course, so many times. Vander right there with the timing.
Beautifully done. Make sure they locked him up. And that was a pretty clean 3 kills. Very, very nicely done. Finn played weak side very well. The synopsis coming in was, look, if there's a weak link, it's up in the top side. But they put him on tank duty. They gave him an armor stacker. And when it came to team fights, he performed. You don't need to win lane on Malphite into Renekton. In fact, you're probably not supposed to win lane Malphite into Renekton, but you can certainly out-team fight him, and I have no complaints at all about Finn. Still praise goes to Hansama and Vander for the early mid-game ganks, and we'll see how much more they can do for the rest of the group stage. Now, we are stepping away, but in return, we've got what some believe is a finals preview in the making in the group stage. Damwon Gaming versus JD Gaming. Stick around.